Not so long ago, pilotless aerial drones were the stuff of science fiction. Today, they're at the centre of a technological revolution, and authorities are struggling to keep up. Drones were originally designed for military use, but they're now used for everything from aerial photography to search and rescue. As Peter McCutcheon reports, they're creating a whole raft of security, safety and privacy concerns.
Connect APM2 to the FR Sky. Check. Okay, RFD900's in the fuselage. Check.
This may look like a group of model aircraft hobbyists. But what's happening here is far more important than playing with toys.
Some of the aircraft are hobby-style aircraft, the fuselages, but then inside is really smart computers.
This is an international competition sponsored by some of the biggest players in Australian aviation, looking for a new edge in a technological revolution. The aviation industry calls these unmanned airborne vehicles, or UAVs, highly sophisticated aircraft with GPS tracking, cameras and video.
It's like television coming along, or you know, digital radio or whatever. It is the cutting edge of a brand new technology which can be used for good or evil.
The dawning age of the drone throws up as many challenges as it does breathtaking opportunities.
There are issues that this new technology also has the ability to start intruding into our daily lives if it's going to be misused by people.
Now we're seeing the private individual out in his suburb deciding he'll buy one and he can get it through the internet and we won't even know he's got it.
UAVs were originally developed by the military, with the US making hundreds of drone strikes in Pakistan in its war against the Taliban. But this technology is being increasingly taken up by civilians. 5 years ago, the CSIRO set up a special research centre in Brisbane to look at how drones can be put to commercial use. This model chopper is used in trials for monitoring crops.
There's so many good applications where you really need to put a camera in the sky or maybe some other sensing systems to actually measure things and look at things from an aerial vantage point.
The CSIRO is also a major organiser of this event, the UAV Outback Challenge at Kingaroy in southeast Queensland. The aim is to design a drone that can navigate its way through more than 10 kilometres of bushland and farming country to find this dummy, representing a lost bushwalker.
This challenge is actually targeting search and rescue, and when that's seen as most people I talk to, in fact everybody I talk to, thinks that's a very good use for unmanned aircraft.
But it's not only scientists and boffins interested in this new technology. In northern New South Wales, a small company is trying to make some money out of it. Aerobot imports parts and assembles drones with mounted high-definition cameras. This octocopter retails at just under $10,000. Who buys this sort of thing?
Well, a lot of TV, film professionals, photographers, mining industries are trying to get into it, as well as, search and rescue, fire brigades, the lifesavers are going to be using them. But
there's a catch. Very few people in Australia, only 24, have permission from the aviation regulator CASA to use this technology commercially.
Our current regulations work on the fact that there's a difference between someone using something for a private purpose and someone using something for a commercial purpose. That they're going to take photographs, sell those photographs, that sort of thing.
A near miss between a model aircraft and a passenger jet at Perth Airport 3 years ago shows why CASA is concerned. The incident was caught on the drone's video camera. But pressure is growing on CASA to open the skies to smaller drones.
How difficult is it running a business like this under current CASA regulations?
It's impossible.
Norm Sanders is a pilot, former Australian Democrat senator and advisor to Aerobot.
CASA has no idea, nobody in CASA has any idea about how to operate one of these things, so they just put in this blanket rule which stifles this growing industry.
A quick search on YouTube shows how fast this technology is being taken up and how far consumers can push the law with computerised flight goggles and high-definition cameras.
Now, this is the latest toy drone to come onto the market. It just cost a few $100, but it has the sort of technology that would have seemed science fiction 10 years ago. It streams live footage back to my iPhone. It has a computer on board which automatically stabilises the whole thing. And to land it is simple. I just push a button. Goes back down.
For its part, CASA admits the genie is out of the bottle.
So I think what's happened here is we've seen an explosion in these, in the number of vehicles that are available. As I said, the internet, access to relatively cheap vehicles made overseas, predominantly in China. That's happened very, very quickly. I don't think anyone foresaw that.
The head of CASA, John McCormick, says the regulator is now looking at introducing a weight limit to make it easier for commercial operators to use smaller drones.
Because of the plethora of small vehicles that are available now and their capabilities, that most probably is impossible for us to enforce. So we have to more or less address reality. There's no point us writing a regulation or an order that we can't enforce. That's just bad law.
And another area where the law may need clarifying is the right to privacy, with the paparazzi using drones for celebrity shots in the French Riviera and possibly the recent topless shots of the Duchess of Cambridge. And the controversy is coming closer to home.
Well, we're starting to hear of some cases. There was one in New South Wales where someone went to their bedroom window one morning and opened up their curtains and found there was a drone with a camera hovering outside their bedroom window.
The Commonwealth Privacy Commissioner, Tim Pilgrim, says our current laws may need updating.
If an individual is using one, say a neighbour or someone in your street, many of the laws we have don't apply to the activities of those individuals. So we need to take stock of the surveillance laws that may exist in the states and territories and have a look to see whether we think they're going to provide an appropriate level of regulation.
These ones have labels on them, so it's probably good.
Back at Kingaroy, the focus is not on privacy but on how far the technology can go. Several manufacturers of larger drones, Lockheed Martin and the Boeing subsidiary In Situ Pacific, are keen observers, looking to expand into the civilian market, starting off with searches and patrols in remoter areas.
We'll build trust with CASA and with other airspace users, and we'll be able to bring it back into more short notice, more immediate type scenarios where we can really extend the technology to the limits of what it's capable of.
Surf Lifesaving Australia is planning to soon send drones on test patrols over Queensland's North Stradbroke Island. And the release of regulations for small drones later this month will give some insight into just how fast the technology will be coming to a neighbourhood near you.
Peter McCutcheon reporting.